Well, I'll tell you the significance of these, which is interesting. I went back and forth as to whether or not to get off at an earlier station because of activity on the L. I think the L would have been fine, but we'll leave it at that. But I decided to get off just in case because it got a little bit swarmy. What do I want to say? There was a, really hungover, sort of high guy who was hunched over. He might have had a friend who had a grocery cart. They were in close proximity. I can't tell if he actually peed or if he tipped his can of, say, like Mountain Dew. And all of a sudden, this liquid was just like running back towards like everybody's seats. So the bottom of my left shoe might have picked up whatever this liquid is. So anyway, at the last minute, I was like, should I or shouldn't I get off the L? Because other people on the L were exchanging glances. It's a whole thing where I realized there could be this weird possibility of people who, get onto a platform, and you could kind of feel pressured to like go towards one side of the platform or the other, or like the north end or the south end in this case. And, a lot of people like to go towards the front to get the front cars, because usually there aren't a lot of people in the front cars. It's sort of a thing. Anyway, because most people don't think to walk all the way up, or they don't feel like it or whatever. But I'm wondering if people play a game and then people start to come onto the platform, then you feel sort of pressured, like, either which way you could feel stalked-ish, kind of. I'm used to ignoring a lot of stuff in regards to riding like public transportation, but I don't ride public transportation that often these days. In the past, I would just like keep ignoring it. But this time around, there were too many guys, too much like druggedness going on. So I was like, at the last minute, a guy who seemed amenable, like someone who was, technically normal-ish, got off at 2nd Street. So I was like, you know what, I'll go ahead and just get off here. And that way I'm not stuck, on the L. I could use a little bit of extra workout and stuff like that. So, and anyway, I'll just be walking back a little bit longer. So, of course, tonight's a game. They have the Phillies game going on. I saw that they're losing. And then, of course, the Eagles won last night. So I'm sure drug trafficking is going, or, activity is pretty heavy on party-ish reasons of partying, whatever. So anyway, Greyhound picks up here now. I forgot. They closed down the regular Greyhound station. They really put people out on the sidewalk. So they might have closed it down. Can you guess why? Similar activity. And people feeling like stalked or watched, or as if they're going to be ganged up on. And they stuck them over here on the sidewalk. And it's sort of like the other buses, Megabus and, even Chinatown buses. Everybody else is on a sidewalk. Greyhound's the only one that wasn't timed at all. Anyway, Flixbus, Greyhound, so they have sort of a storefront-ish, Peter Pan, and next to Dunkin' Donuts. And, well, it looks like a big strawberry there, doesn't it? A raspberry. That used to be Strawbridge and Clothier. Speaking of strawberries, right, used to be Strawbridge and Clothier. They revamped it. I guess it's part of the whole fashion district. Five Below's in there, but back in the day, Strawbridge and Clothier, and the old story would be there would be issues with like, people in the bathrooms who shouldn't be in the bathrooms and stuff like that, or activity in the bathrooms and stuff like that. So 1776, there you go. The Pursuit of Happiness. Good luck on Market Street. So anyway, But that's it. Strawbridge and Clothier looking like a strawberry tonight. Big time. I don't know what strawberry means, but people have all kinds of references, and I'm like, I have no idea what strawberry means other than an actual strawberry. I actually worked for Strawbridge and Clothier, not here, while I was in Delaware. A seasonal job that I had. I have like a million, jobs that I've taken. So I had a seasonal job and worked there for a few months, like over the holidays. I forget what year, if it was in high school or college. It might have been early college, like freshman year. So anyway, if you're just joining me now, thank you for joining in. I don't know if Joe or Dave are out there, or Adam or whomever, but thank you for coming in. I'm returning from a good yoga class. My body will probably detox a little bit because I'm not used to working out that much. So I needed that. And I'm taking advantage of an offer, $50, unlimited yoga for 3 weeks. That's actually really good in the world of yoga, especially today. Prices are exorbitant today. Sometimes they offer a sliding scale. It depends. Anyway, so I'm willing to go up to this yoga studio and give it a try. I've been to a lot of yoga studios present day, post-pandemic, and it's like, I don't know what happened, but stuff that used to be taught isn't taught any longer. And it's like, if you're new to yoga, I actually don't know how people would learn more advanced poses, or I don't know what to say. They've modified yoga a lot. So it's not what I practice, the very, very authentic, I would say, the vinyasa flow, with Sanskrit, like, namaste, shanti, 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 lokasama sukino bhavantu, and so forth and so on. So I can't get over how pretty that is. I guess it's supposed to be red for Phillies, but it looks like a strawberry. Strawbridge and Clothier with the green on top. See that? And it used to be Strawbridge and Clothier. So, also I noticed that the lights at Liberty Place, Shops at Liberty Place, and Comcast Center are all lit in red. And if you'll recall, the Phillies did not win the last time they were all lit in red. They did win when it was just like two little red dots coming out of the Comcast top, or whatever, the top of Comcast, which is a big, gigantic, huge, big red section, or big lit section, if you will. So, Giants over there. So Market Street in Philly is one of these things. It's not like it's not a tourist destination unless you go to Reading Terminal Market or the Convention Center. It's really not. It's, I guess it's becoming slightly more New York-ish with this signage. We didn't used to have signage like this. Big, gigantic, digital, electronic, whatever, billboards. So that's new. Also, this whole mall, all these shops, technically they're connected underground as well, down to Strawbridge and Clothier, or the old Strawbridge and Clothier. And it's like a big, gigantic, it's always been the gallery, but now it's like the Fashion District Mall. It was totally redone. And it does look nice inside. It's been upgraded. So all of that is new-ish. And, I don't know if there's any new word out there on the Phillies game, if they've lost or if they still have a chance, right? I saw 5-1 was the last time that I saw, a score. And that was just as I was on the L and trying to decide if I would get off the L or not because of a stream of liquid running down. And I realized my left shoe was like getting caught in that stream. I actually think it was water or Mountain Dew. I didn't pick up on the aroma of urine, but it's pretty, I guess, disturbing and sad to see people in such a state of affairs. People are hurting all over the place, and it's just interesting, to see different populations or people who have similar traits, physicality and stuff like that. And it's like, what is it about certain groups who have similar eyebrows, noses, mouths, and they wind up sort of either, homeless and or on drugs and so forth and so on. I guess they have cops out here big time, either for the case, that Philly would win, this would have been their winning night of like going on to the World Series, or just regular coverage because of the wreckage that is still standing up on Market Street. But anyway, it's fascinating to me because I saw one of the people I saw on the subway. I was like, I can't believe how much that person looks like bleep bleep bleep, and I won't say, but I'm like, I can't believe it. Person could be part of a family that sort of knew my sister per se, or I knew them too. It's like, that is amazing, and I do actually wonder about this. So, all right, yes, now open on Concourse Carter's. Spirit of Halloween is up in the house. So there you go there, and H&M. All right. ET phone home. There's a biker over there. So I loved ET back in the day. It's been so long since I've seen it. I miss some of that, like the feelings that came with some movies that I saw in the past, like Close Encounters of the Third Kind and ET. And everything's so different now in terms of movies. But Close Encounters of the Third Kind was like my favorite movie. Whatever. And Richard Dreyfuss, I think, was the character who felt incredibly compelled to build like a volcano-ish shaped thing. He kept seeing in his mind's eye this sort of like shape. Turns out it's the devil's something or other. It actually exists out there in the Midwest somewhere. It's like Arizona, Nevada, what have you. And probably near Area 51 and so on and so on. So anyway, devil's something. It's an actual destination, vacation or site or whatever. I don't know if it's Area 51-ish. Anyway, it's an unusual looking sort of mountain that sort of almost looks ribbed on the side, but it's just the way that it is. It's probably volcanic-ish. But and then they're trying to communicate with this UFO. That was Close Encounters of the Third Time, right? Third kind, third time. So someone's trying to say something out here on Market Street. So anyway, all right. Discover Dining, AT&T. Bright lights over here, make any hour golden hour, peak. And speaking of gold, I actually thought that when we pulled into the 2nd Street station when I was going out to practice yoga, it struck me how golden the stop was. And just all the lights and everything. And right, the cops are out, I guess, in case the Phillies had won, and it doesn't look hopeful at this point. Maybe mayhem would have ensued, or I guess like a peak in drug sales or whatever. I have no idea. It still fascinates me that people know how to buy. Like, this fascinates me. Where do people get the money? I don't even know how it goes down. Anyway, it's fascinating to me, like the stream, I guess, of currency and or drugs. Like, how do people know where to go, or who? And they just approach people in the street and stuff. And how do you know it's not totally tainted with something that's like really gross? That's going to mess you up big time. Wind up, needing to barf all over the place. So Iron Hill Brewery, which is sort of like Cachava. I thought of the H in Iron Hill has 2 middle bars, almost like a DNA-ish type of thing. And I have been using Cachava as like a meal replacement type thing. It's to keep everything in order and in line so I don't eat the wrong stuff. I'm sort of used to eating a certain way. And Cachava has the same H as Iron Hill. And I kept looking at it like, where else have I seen this? But there you go. And Iron Hill Brewery, of course, I actually think they started in Delaware and surrounding areas. And of course, Biden, here's some swings here. Biden spent his entire career was in Delaware. He was a lawyer in the 60s, and in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, he was a senator in Delaware, and then he was VP 2008 through 2000, whatever, 16. I guess then he had some paid time off there for a while until coming on, and so forth and so on. So those people are having fun over there if you hear that sound in the background. But people will do that to make you wonder if there's a conflict or a confrontation. So it's just everybody's got to play, play today. Here's the Girard. Everything north of the Girard would be considered druglandia big time. And I think this is a drug enforcement agency complex, if you will. So this is all like put in. We have Canopy, The Wayward, Federal Donuts, and Canopy is broken up into CAN in one font and OPY in another, like opiates. Sure. Right. There's Federal Donuts. I actually used to work in this building, but back then, Women in Transition was in there. I was like sort of an advocate / counselor. It was like they loosely used the term counselor, but to help people who were in like dire straits try to find, a shelter or what have you, kind of in that realm. But they switched it up. There's Canopy by Hilton. You get it, opiates, and there's a hill or Iron Hill. And, we won't get, there's a whole thing with iron, and I have O negative blood, so there's more iron in my blood than copper. I'm sorry, there's more copper than iron. Most people have more iron than copper. So that's the main difference. Then there's this area here. They just did this Jefferson University Hospital addition, if you will, or extension. And they have a Jefferson Plaza and so forth and so on. So, good workout at Monarch Yoga Studio. They do have some pretty good promotions and prices, considering. And I thought it was pretty. From what I can tell, their flow is very much based in like core power-ish, yoga-ish. It's a very specific sequence and style that fits into a 60-minute time frame. So it's, if that's what you're used to, or that's sort of what's going on right now. A lot of things are limited to, say, 60 minutes. Although I did see on their schedule they do have 75-minute. Yin, they might have a 75-minute flow. I'm not sure. I'll have to check. So my guess is the Phillies have not done much. How embarrassing would it be if they lost tomorrow here on our, they could have pulled it out over in Arizona, but no, they had to stretch out the games. You figure 10-0 is a big, gigantic slam dunk of a win. And then something seems off if they can win like 10-0 in one game. And then, so we won't get into it. Everything seems like a show or almost rigged sometimes. And you kind of wonder if there's other reasons that teams are or aren't supposed to win. So Sweno or something like that. I looked it up once. I totally forget what it means. The Haunted Nightmare. It's sort of like a boardwalk thing for Halloween. That's the first time I've ever seen it. They've had it here since I've been back in 2021, but they never had it before.
I'll meet you guys later.
Right. So. Finn McCool's will always be here, I guess. It's been here forever, and nothing's changed on the Finn McCool front. All right, let's go. So it smells good that some, people are having some good dinner. And this way. Edible arrangements. I have considered getting one of these just because, there's chocolate covered strawberries. You can get those baskets with pineapple and everything in it. And Lately, I'm like, I should get one of those for myself on my birthday or like for Thanksgiving. So they're still here, edible arrangements, and of course the I guess you could look at that. Oh, and it's a fruit basket. We're in the neighborhood, so people could. I'm being told by my satellite number 35. People could look at that as all kinds of things. Um, and I didn't think of it. We're in the neighborhood, fruit basket, edible arrangements. So, in a way, God creates, people rearrange, right? Things are arranged or orchestrated, this, that, and the other. So that's the dealio there. Biggles and this. Goldie is over here now. It used to be, what was it, Merkaz or something like that. This is part of the Israeli Soul Collective, Goldie. Merkaz was as well, but I guess Merkaz has sort of fizzled. This reminds me of, Butieg or whatever, some political guy who shows up on TV every once in a while. Or one of the Gardner brothers, who are tap dancers from Scotland, who you can find on YouTube Shorts or TikTok. Right? So they're always tap dancing all over the place. They're like river dancers, kind of. They're super tall. Van Llewellyn Ice Cream. Police 102 van hanging out at ice cream. So a lot of people at Elvez. Everybody's waiting. Bated breath, right? I kind of don't think they're going to win for some reason. It just seems too quiet. And by now, I can't look up the score because I'd have to sort of disengage from the live stream. Should I do it really quicker? But no one seems overly celebratory or happy. What if they have to win on a certain day? So today's the 23rd, tomorrow's the 24th. So it's possible. I keep smelling or picking up on the aroma of peanut sauce or what have you. So there's one of the entryways to someone's condo building or apartments. It's hard to tell sometimes. I'm kind of curious who would actually buy a condo in this area, unless they're part of like an intel group and they are paid, get paid handsomely to sort of hang out here. Such a party area that it could get old if you want to settle down and have a different type of life. Right, we are approaching Broad Street, Philadelphia building, looking Gothic and everything. Right. We'll go with Celtic, but it's like old Gothic font writing. Celtic, I guess, would have a slightly different, but we'll go with it. So we'll just stay on Sansom. We have Eagles Green on the kind of the center of the viewfinder here, off to the right a little. I was going to say upper right-hand corner, but there we go. And then, they just changed pink. So they must be like going around on a color light system, like a circle. Just keep turning that wheel. Oh, they do have it. Just in case they would have won tonight, they do have barricades. I was wondering, because I saw barricades over by Love Park. It kind of sucks, like, hopefully they'll win tomorrow. I mean, I don't know what to say. What a tease, build me up to let me down, if you're really hoping that they'll win, but it doesn't look likely because look how quiet it is. They'd have to really pull something out in the last couple innings. By now, they're probably in the 9th inning. The police are still here just in case. Go Phillies, they're all ready. So it's like all the pomp and circumstance and everything. This is all here. Can we cross over, or do we have to go under? So there's City Hall. I'm on the median strip, like Wendy the Pancake. quite a few years ago. We're going back to like 2003, 4, 5. They got rid of Passage to India, which is over on Juniper and Walnut, and they put in an IHOP. And for the IHOP, they decided to use pancakes as mascots. All right, sorry. So they used pancakes as mascots, and they kept bringing them they would have to escort the pancake out to the median strip in order to advertise for IHOP. I can hear a fire alarm going on around here, or it's a high-pitched thing on this police truck or whatever. They must hoist their bikes up there, the bike racks on the back, I guess. RV5. So, what was I saying? Oh, the pancake. So there was one pancake that, a couple employees from IHOP would have to sort of escort out to the median strip so that this mascot could sort of like stand there and advertise that IHOP had shown up in Philadelphia. And there was a lot of humor, like in a way. As soon as I saw this pancake, I just started like ROFL, rolling on the floor laughing, because it just came across as like really funny, because the pancake needed to be escorted to the median strip, right? So anyway, a couple days later, plot thickens. I come out, and a different pancake was now in the spotlight on the median strip. They were like in rope on the back of the pancakes. They would have the names of the pancakes, like Wendy and Luann or something like that. That's what that was good. Wendy was gone. Luann stepped in. And I was like, what happened? Like, Luann pushed out Wendy for the coveted position of like pancake mascot on the median strip. Like, somehow it came off as like incredibly funny at the time. Because was there a pancake brawl somewhere, or some sort of, pancake pecking order, right? So anyway, interestingly, I would look up information about the mascots of IHOP, and I would find out that there was a pancake mascot in Seattle that totally got punched, like someone's like sucker punched, or like some clowns decided to drive up in their car and like beat up the pancake, and technically it did traumatize that. So it's not funny, but the mascot who's trapped in the uniform, like whoever played the mascot, was totally traumatized. I don't know if he got any like, Social Security benefits or like compensation for, but you can look it up. I'm sure it's still there, the article. People beat up pancake in Seattle for IHOP pancake. Is it done? So people are still here, but I don't know if is the game over or what. It just seems to, of course, people are in Oscars. Right, in Orlando, there was that mass shooting at Pulse Club. So there was a mass shooting at Pulse nightclub in Orlando, and here we already had a Pulse nightclub, Pulse Club. Goldie and Federal Donuts were there. They've since moved. Now they're down by Bucky's Body Center and Barry's gym. So if anyone was waiting for me to come off of a stop close by, whoops, I was told to get off at stop 2 at the 2nd Street stop. So it's possible people are telling me what to do to avoid or to catch people who are doing the wrong thing, should they know my business and be waiting. That's a fact. So anyway, right. So I wouldn't know for certain if anyone was waiting, but in the past I would be able to tell, or I would think it was really weird that people were doing certain things at certain times, at certain locations. But that's what I'm told today. So here's everybody in the Tapster self-service bar where you just like walk up and serve yourself, you know. You know, why hire a, you know, waiter or waitress or, you know. So post game live, you know, so forth and so on. All right. Sorry. Okay. So that's the dealio here. And right, it's too quiet. Right. Kind of curious if the Phillies will miraculously pull it out if the game's over. You know, who knows? I can't tell. I have no idea what the score is. Right. Sorry, I can't today. Sorry. So, I mean, the sad side of living in the city is that, you know, you run into homelessness a lot, or panhandling a lot. In the suburbs, I noticed this in Gainesville. Technically, a lot of panhandlers are regulated to like intersections at traffic lights. So you're in your car, you know, people do give money. I have seen that in Gainesville. I did see people do this. Here it's tough. Every once in a blue moon, I'll actually like, I gave $1 to someone last week, like a few days ago, a guy over here by the church, because he looked so sad. And it's every once in a blue moon, but technically it's, you know, there are people who are incredibly wealthy and there's a government, and I feel like I don't know what these people's stories are, but it's like, can some people just at least have a place to sleep and then hook them up with SNAP benefits? They have chronic homeless people out there. They do have some shelters that are reserved for the chronic homeless, like the Collins House over by, that's over at Market and like 12th-ish, 11th-ish, 10th, 12th-ish, 13th-ish. It's over by Macy's-ish and that church, you know. But, you know, you have to sign up. I have no idea what brings people out here if they could have that and choose not to. I have no idea. But anyway, it's, you know, kind of a sad affair. So that's it. I'll see you on the flip side. To go in. All right. So that's it. Complimentary yoga. But they do the best they can with free yoga, but they have it every Wednesday, 6 to 7 at the Harper Building, which we have access to for events like this. But when I showed up there, when I first returned, you know, it was technically, I don't know what to say. It was really bad. I'm sorry to say that. And it's almost like, is this a joke? Like, I almost felt like, is this a joke or a mockery? Oh, so anyway. That's it. I'll see you on the flip side, and thank you.